upside down and backwards. I do everything the wrong way.
Excuse me, please, could I have a representative from Miss Kinnert's class to reception now, please? Miss Kinnert's class.
Okay, so number 10, anybody need any of it? You were all okay with the recurring decimal? Yeah? Okay, right. The next one is to finish the example yesterday. Were you able to finish it? Do I need to finish it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were able to finish it, or yeah, finish it?
Can you finish?
Can I finish it? Right. Okay, so you'll have to remind me where I was. Okay, so the sequence, what sequence? I had written down 7, 17, 31, 49, 71. That was the sequence, wasn't it? Yeah? Okay, I'd established that 2 times A was the second difference, which was, what was the second difference? 10? 4. So that means A is 2. I'd established that. Yeah? So, and the general term is 2n squared plus bn plus c. Okay, I'll take it from here. Okay, I know I had a bit more done, but so term number 1. Term number 1 means into that, everywhere I see an n, put in a 1, because it's term number 1. So n stands for the number of the term. So it's 2 times 1 to be squared plus b times 1 plus c. But I know when I work all that out, that turns out to be 7, because term number 1 is 7. So term number 1 is 7, so when I work all that out, I get 7. Okay, so that's 2 plus b plus c equals 7. Bring over the 2, becomes a minus 2. So b plus 2, c equals 7 minus 2, which is 5. Okay, there's my first equation, or first equation from my simultaneous equations in a minute. Term number 2. So term number 2 means everywhere I see an n, put in a 2. So it's 2 times 2 to be squared plus b times 2 plus c, and this time I know the answer is going to be 17, because that's what term number 2 is. Right? Okay, multiplying out, that's 8 plus 2b plus c equals 17. Right, rearranging there. So I get 2b plus c equals 17 minus 8, which is 9. Okay, so there's my second equation from my simultaneous equations. Okay, so I have 2b plus c equals 9. Underneath it, I have b plus c equals 5. Make the c's cancel, change the signs. That becomes a minus, that becomes a minus, that becomes a minus. They cancel, you'll end up with b is equal to 4. Okay, then take b plus c equals 5. Just worked out b to be 4, so 4 plus c equals 5. So c equals 5 minus 4, so c turns out to be 1. So the question was find Tn. So Tn is 2n squared plus bn, which is 4n, plus c, which is 1. And you can check and see if you're right. Put in a 1, see you get 7. Put in 2, see you get 17. Put in 3, see you get 31, etc.
Apologies for interrupting classes. Good morning, everybody. I hope you're all well and you enjoyed the long weekend. Just a few quick points. Just in relation to uniform, there has been a marked improvement of uniform over the past week, including footwear. Although it has come to our attention that some students are still wearing half their uniform, i.e. PE top and hoodies. Parents will be contacted to bring in the full uniform if students present in incorrect uniform. Please take the responsibility the night before school to get organised with your full school uniform. The school magazine is currently on sale. All students should be purchasing unless another sibling in your house is buying it. It is a fabulous memento to have in the future, and it's a huge amount of work being put in by the T-Boys and Miss McHugh. It includes all activities for the year, all class photos, individual 6-year photos with their baby photographs, fun pages around staff and students, and many art pieces. We would like your support for all the work that is being put into our school magazine. TY students will be around to classes over the coming days. The cost is €7. I'd please remind you to put this into your school journal so that everybody can support the school. Many thanks.
Okay, are we good with that? Right, okay. So the next thing is, right, okay, new to this year is we need to, how to find the TN of a cubic sequence. Okay, you know, the ones where the second or the third difference is a constant. So the first difference is a constant, it's linear. Second difference is a constant, it's quadratic. Third difference is a constant, it's a cubic equation. Right, so the general form of a cubic sequence is an cubed plus bn squared plus cn plus d. And the second thing you need to remember is that 6a is equal to the third difference. Okay. Yeah, sorry. Zoom in or out? Oh, do you know what's wrong? It's on. See, it looks fine here. When that happens, you need to shout at me because I check this screen, I don't check that one, and it looks fine here. I just need to press the button. Now we're right. Okay? Right, so yeah, so the second thing you need to remember for a cubic sequence is 6a is equal to the third difference. So 2a was equal to the second difference for a quadratic, and 6a is equal to the third difference, right, for a cubic. Again, you need to remember that it's not in the log tables, it needs to be in your head, okay? So, example. So find Tn so I go 6, 27, 74, 159, 294, and dot dot dot. Okay, so first difference, 6 to 27 is plus 21, 27 to 74 is plus 47, 74 to 159 is plus 85, and 159 up to 294 is 41 and 95, 130 plus 135. Okay, so it's definitely not linear. Okay, so let's go again. 21 to 47 is plus 26. 47 to 85 is plus 48, and 85 to 35, 135 is plus 50. Now there's something wrong there. Right, what have I've done one wrong somewhere. Yeah. Yeah, that would make sense. Thank you. Thank you. 38. My excuses, it's early in the morning. Right, okay, so then it's not quadratic because the second difference isn't a constant. So you go again, 26 to 38 is plus 12, and 38 to 50 is plus 12. Third difference is a constant, it's a cubic equation. Okay, so the two things we know about a cubic equation is that Tn right, Tn is equal to an cubed plus bn squared plus cn plus d, right? That's first thing we know. And the second thing we know is 6 times a is equal to the third difference, which is 12. And please note this a is different to the a's we've had so far. The A's we've had in the other formulas are the first term. This A is the A in front of the n cubed, or in front of the n squared in terms of quadratic sequences, okay? So that means A is equal to, divide by 6, A is equal to 2. So that general term is Tn equals 2n cubed plus Bn squared plus Cn plus D, okay? Is that alright? So then same sequence, same pattern as before, same as I did for quadratics, except I'm going to end up doing linear solving simultaneous equations in 3 unknowns, okay? So T1 means term number 1. So that means everywhere I see an n, put in a 1. So it's 2 times 1 to be cubed plus B times 1 to be squared plus C times 1 plus D, and I know the answer is going to be term number 1. Term number 1 was 6. So I know when I work all that out, the answer is going to be 6. So that would be 2 plus B plus C plus D equals 6. Bring over the 2. So B plus C equals plus D equals 6 minus 2 equals 4. Okay, is equation number 1. Is that alright? Okay. Can I move it up a small bit? Is that okay? I still leave the sequence there for a minute. So term number 2 means everywhere I see an n, put in a 2. So it's 2 times 2 to be cubed plus B times 2 to be squared plus C times 2 plus D, and this time term number 2 turns out to be 27. Okay, so 2 to be cubed is 16 by 2 is 2 to be cubed is 8 by 2 is 16 plus 4B plus 2C plus D equals 27. Bring across the 16 and you get 4B plus 2C plus D equals 27 minus 16, which is 11. Is that okay? There's the second equation. Now there's 3 unknowns, so 3 unknowns means you need 3 equations, right? So how do you know to keep going? Because I don't know B, I don't know C, I don't know D, so that means I need 3 equations, right? If there was just 2 unknowns, you need 2 equations, but there's 3, okay? So I have to go term number 3, so that means everywhere I see an n, I put in a 3, so it's 2 times 3 to be cubed plus B times 3 to be squared plus C times 3 plus D, and term number 3 is 74. Okay, I'm moving up completely now, if that's okay. Right, multiplying that out, 3 to be cubed is 27 by 2 is 54. 3 to be squared is 9 by B plus 3C plus D equals 74. Bring across the 54, so you get 9B plus 3C plus D equals 74 minus 54, which is 20. Okay, keep an eye on my calculations, please. Right, okay, so I have 3 equations in 3 unknowns. So it's good revision for us. So we take any 2. So I'll take the first one, and I'll take the second one, 4B plus 2C plus D equals 11. I can make the D's cancel, right, by just changing the sign. So I'll change the sign at the bottom line. So I get minus 3B minus C, D's cancel, 4 minus 11 is minus 7. Okay, there's the next one for the next step. Right, so I took 1 with 2. So now I either take 1 with 3 or 2 with 3. I'll take 1 with 3. B plus C plus D equals 4 is number 1. And number 3 is 9B plus 3C plus D equals 20, right? This time I'll change the top line. I have to make the D's cancel now. I chose in the first one to make the D's cancel. Now my choice is gone. It has to be D's again. So minus, minus, and minus. So 9B minus B is 8B. 3C minus 2C, minus C is 2C. D's cancel, right? And minus 4 plus 20 is 16. There's my two equations for the next bit. Okay, so I have, again, can I go up again? Minus 3B minus C equals minus 7, and the bottom line 8B plus 2C equals 16. I'm going to multiply, cancel the C's, I'm going to multiply the top line by 2. So I have minus 6B minus 2C equals minus 14. And then I have 8B plus 2C equals 16. So C's cancel. I'll get 2B equals 2. So squashing in there at the bottom, B equals 1. Is that okay? Right, take one of these. Okay, so I'll take minus 3B. So minus 3 times B is 1. Minus C equals minus 7. So I get minus C equals minus 7 plus 3, which is minus 4. So that means C is equal to 4. Is that okay? Then you go back to one of the very top equations. So I'll go back to equation number 1, which is B plus C plus D equals 4. B turned out to be 1. C turned out to be 4. Plus D equals 4. So that means D is equal to 4 minus 5, which is minus 1. Okay? Please don't forget to answer the question. The question was Tn. Find Tn. Sorry, I have to blank board here. What do I do? Going swimmingly well. Right? So don't forget to answer the question. So Tn equals, A turned out to be 2, so it's 2n cubed, plus bn squared, B turned out to be 1, so n squared, plus Cn, which turned out to be 4, 4n, plus D, which is minus 1. There's your answer. Is that okay? A lot of work to it, but to be fair, there's nothing new in there. Yes? Yeah. Okay, are we good? Right, I have time. Yeah, I have time. I have one small bit to do, one small section to do, and then I finish the chapter. Okay, test on Friday. Right, revision double in the double tomorrow. Is that all right? I'll have the exam questions printed out for you. Okay, is that all right? So I have one small section to do, and it's called other sequences. Okay, so it's just sometimes they use rules as opposed to TNs to get I'm going to go straight to an example. So again, there's nothing new here. It's just using your head to figure it out. So example 1. So write out the first 3 terms, sorry, the first 5 terms. I had to change the road. Will you remind me in a minute? Defined by, right, so Tn plus 2 equals Tn plus 1 plus Tn, right, where T1 equals 1 and term number 2 is equal to 2. So they told you the first two terms and a rule to get the rest. Okay, so term n plus 2, so it's like 2 terms up, is equal to the term right before it and the term right before that. Can anyone tell me in English what that is? Right? In order to get any term, what have you to do? You have to add the 2 previous terms, don't you? Term n plus 2 is like up here, then you have to add the term right behind it and the term behind that. So you have to add, to get a term, you have to add the previous 2 terms. But if you can't say in English or you don't see what it is, all you have to do is substitute, right? Okay, so if I say let n equal 1, remember n stands for the number of the term. So n has to start at 1, it's term number 1. You can't have term number 0, term number minus 1, they don't exist. Your term number 1, when you're counting, it's term number 1. So start with 1. Everywhere you see an n, put in a 1, yeah? Okay, so that means term 1 plus 2, what would that be? Term 3 equals, instead of this n, put in a 1, term number 2 plus term number 1. Agreed? But look, we have term number 2 and we have term number 1, don't we? So term number 3 is equal to term number 2 is 2, they told me, and term number 1 is 1, so term number 3 is 3. Agreed? I need the first 5 terms. So what I do now, so I have the first term is 1, second term is 2, the next term is 3. Now it's not linear, it's not geometric, this is the pattern, okay? Right, so we can't just assume what the next one is. Right, but how will I find out term number 4? What will I do? Let n equal what? Will I go to 2? N equals 2? So I let n equal 1, see what happens. Now I'm going to let n equal 2, right? So that means term number, what's this be? What would this be? Term number 2 plus 2 is 4 equals term number 2 plus 1 is 3 plus you're letting n equal 2, so it's term number 2. Agreed? So term number 4 you don't know. Term number 3 you just figured it out, it's 3. And term number 2 they told me is 2. So term number 4 is 5. Okay? So I'm up to 5 there. Okay? And then finally, to get the 5th term, what will I let? Let n equal what? 3. So then using the rule they gave me, so term 3 plus 2 is term number 5 equals term number 3 plus 1 is 4 and n is 3, so that's term number 3. So to get term number 5, I would add term number 4, which is 5, plus term number 3, which is 3, and I would get 8. So the 4th term in that sequence, or the 5th term is 8. That's all they asked me to do. First 5 terms, okay? Dot, 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 it goes on forever. Okay? Do you see these? So there's no real method, only they give you a rule, and you always just let n equal 1, see what happens. Let n equal 2, see what happens. Right? Okay, is that right? Okay. Example 2, can I... what else I see? Write down. first 5 terms again. So here's the rule, right, okay, and they're telling you term number 1 is 2. So you know the first term in the sequence is 2, where you go after that you have to follow the rule, okay? So what you do, you let what, n equal 1. So let's just see what happens. If you let n equal 1, you'll get term number 1 equals 4 times term number 0. There is no such thing as term number 0, so there isn't. So that's not useful, okay? But we didn't know it wasn't useful until we filled it in, okay? So now I'm going to let n equal, what will I let n equal to? Let n equal 2, right? So that means term number 2 is equal to 4 multiplied by term number 2 minus 1 is 1. 4 times term number 1. That's useful because they told me term number 1 is 2. So it's term number 2 is 4 times 2, which is 8. Is that okay? So starting my sequence, the first one is 2, the second term is 8. I need to keep going. So now I'm going to let n equal 3. So that means to get term number 3, it'll be 4 times term number 3 minus 1 is 2. And I happen to have term number 2. So term number 3 is 4 times 8, which is 32. Is that okay? Yes, the next one then, right, okay, you let n equal 4. So that means to get term number 4, it would be 4 times term number 3. So term number 4 is equal to 4 times 32, which is 128. Now this is actually a geometric sequence. You're multiplying by 4 every time, but that just happens to be the way. Is that alright? And let n equal 5. So term number 5 is equal to 4 times term number 3. So that's term number 5 is equal to 4 times 128, which is 32, 512. So the next one is 512. Now this just happened to be a geometric sequence where you're multiplying by 4 every time. That's not always the case, right? Okay, these ones don't have a linear, geometric, quadratic, cubic pattern as a rule, right? Sometimes they happen to turn out to be one of those, right? Is that alright? Okay, I have time for one more. I have. Right, example 3. Right, right, again, it's write out the first 5 terms. That's very similar to the one. Right, find the 4th term. So they're telling me T1 is 1, they're telling me T2 is 3, and then they're giving me the rule Tn equals 3 times, sorry, there's no bracket, 3 times Tn minus 1 minus T times n minus 2. Is that right? So I'm looking for term number 4, right? Okay, so this time, what will I let n equal to, please? Well, I go straight to, I'm looking for term number 4. So what will I fill in for n? Let n equal 4, won't I? Okay, so let n equal 4, because I don't need all the terms, right? I need the 4th term. So term number 4 is equal to 3 times term number 4 minus 1 is 3 minus term number 2. I have a problem. What's my problem? I don't have term number 3, sure I don't, right? Sure I don't. In order to get term number 4, I need term number 3. Agreed? Okay, so I am going to have to park that for a minute, okay, because I'm going to have to get term number 3, right? Okay, so term number 3, how will I get term number 3? What will I do? Let n equal 3. Okay, so term number 3 is equal to 3 times term number 3 minus 1 is 2 plus term number 3 minus 2 is 1. I can do that, can't I? Because I have term 1 and term 2, right? So that means term number 3 is equal to 3 times term number 2 is 3 plus term number 1 is 1. So term number 3 is 10. So is it minus? Sorry, it is minus. Thank you. So term number 3 is actually 8. 3 3s are 9 minus 1. With me? Right, okay. Back up here to get term number 4, which is what the question was. So term number 4 is 3 times term number 3, which turned out to be 8. Take away term number 2, which they told me was 3. So term number 4 turned out to be 21. Is that okay? Right. So I'm going to give you a few of those and a cubic one, a couple of cubic ones as well. So page 354, let's do numbers 2, 3 and 5 part 2. Now, I need you to think about number 3. It's not as straightforward as the rest of them, okay? That's why I'm putting a question mark over 3. You have to think about it, see what comes to mind, okay? And then I want to do a couple of cubic ones, so we do page 358, and we'll do number 6 parts 2 and 3, because I did part 1 as the example, okay? So page 354, 2, 3, 5 part 2. Page 358, 6 parts 2 and 3. Okay, is that right? Okay, and as I say, revision tomorrow and test on Friday. Right, and we're going, revision class this evening. I'll be here from, what should I say, 20 past 3 until 10 past 4. It's voluntary. But next week, I'll just stop this so my renting isn't on the internet. Next week, girls, I'm just looking up, we actually have a staff meeting after school on Wednesday,